authors, bigger name authors than me for sure, had asked him. And honestly, I mean this in all sincerity, he picked me because I had done Langley's history. The biggest thing that impressed him when I met him for the first time face to face, I'd been invited to his home in Cincinnati, and his wife Carol was with him. And I'm not trying to drop names, but I'm trying to explain some of the things I've been doing and thinking about. And I mentioned the name Jack Reeder to Neil Armstrong. Jack Reeder, that test pilot that was mentioned more than once today, who had been an engineer in the full-scale tunnel and got sent off to do naval aviation training, came back to become one of the greatest. Well, here's the line. I mentioned Jack Reeder to Neil. Neil turns to his wife, Carol, and says to Carol, Jack Reeder was the best test pilot I ever saw. And then he turned to me and said, and Chuck Yeager was the worst. Well, it's the second part that gets the laugh, but it's the first part that's really important. I think I locked up the Armstrong biography at that very minute that I mentioned, not just mentioned, I wasn't trying to name. Neil understood from what I was saying that I had an understanding of what it meant to be a real engineering test pilot, what the value was in a Jack Reeder, a name that most people wouldn't, compared to Chuck Yeager, you would never know it. I think it was Langley, it was my experience at Langley, it was all those conversations I had with all these other guys that prepared me to be the Armstrong biographer. And for that, and for so many other things, I can never thank this place enough. Thank you.